Castle Keep. One warband deploys in the barracks courtyard while the other ambushes them from above. It's the Ravens barracks and we're here for the first game between Kittenpaw and Joj0z. Both of them compete in Group F, as you see over here. And it's the very first game of the tournament even. And it appears that Joj0z will be deploying in the courtyard. We are following the game from Kittenpaw's perspective. We see here that Kittenpaw has a little bit of an advantage in morale, 258 to 224. Bit of a spread out ambush position here, but since Joj0z seems to have the advantage when it comes to initiative, I think he could probably maneuver around. And get back into safety. We'll see how Joj0z do with this warband. He was actually signing up as a Skaven player and had that unfortunate bug where the warband file is overwritten by another warband. And so he didn't have a warband when this warband match was about to start. Yours truly gave him a random cult warband here to deploy against Kittenpaw and for the rest of the tournament. So he's not really familiar with this warband. But it might end up being a little bit stronger than the warband he would be bringing otherwise. So hopefully that evens out. Actually, it might be Joj0z that is ambushing Kittenpaw here. Remember that there is no sneak attack in this tournament. You have to reroll it, but there are still some story map missions that give you something that looks similar to a sneak attack, and this is one of those story missions. Although you don't get the mechanical penalties of -1 red pill and -15% hit chance on the first turn. So at least that helps. Kittenpaw is trying to maneuver all of his units and put them into a place where they are relatively safe. But unknown to him, the Chaos Warband that Joj0z is bringing does not have much in the way of range. Unlike Kittenpaw's units. And here we go. First turn directly to Joj0z, and he seems to have brought a Globadier, so he has a little bit of range then, just not that single brethren. Let's see what he can do from up there. It's a very good position to just fire down on. Seems to be a bit decisive. 1/3 of his turn has already gone. Kittenpaw is reminding me of that in the chat here, so we can see. $50 damage, 95% hit chance. That's very good. This is the first time Joj0z compete in one of the level 10 tournaments. We'll see how he does. Most people don't do that well in the first tournament, but that's almost always due to a lack of experience in building the warband itself. And now Joj0z actually has a warband given to him. So that might mean he does a little bit better. He is in a tough group though. Kittenpaw and Slaver are bound to duke it out for first and second place, but we will see if they can do any upsets. Not sure why he's using aim here if he hits 95% chance anyway. He's running out of time and he's only used 2 attacks. Not really sure what's going on there, and he left the unit exposed. Yeah, that was a really poor first move by Joj0z. See if he can figure it out. Another Globadier, another ranged Globadier, firing down. See if he can manage to get off all of his attacks this time. He seems to be doing that. Indeed, this is a pretty poor position for Kittenpaw here, but remember that it would have been much worse the other way around, considering the range advantage that Kittenpaw has. And it seems that he's not really using that much of Poison Glow. Didn't... Okay, it was a success here for Saxon the Silent, the Flagellant. But he doesn't seem to be choosing his targets too well, unless those are the only targets he can pick. If you have a chance, you should always aim for one of the heroes instead, and I think one of them was exposed. I don't know why you're doing that. Then you're standing exposed for comets, and that's gonna hurt. Oh, a Chaos Spawn. This is gonna be interesting. Seems to be within the building. We'll see. The thing with Chaos Spawns is that you need to be relatively close to the Magister. Kittenpaw is looking him up on the minimap. He might go down here. If he does, he needs some support from your other units, and you really want to have the Chaos Spawn be targeted by Weapon of Destruction, so you should probably do a delay here, but now you only have a few seconds left, and I fear that Joj0z might be wasting his Spawn's first turn here. Yep, indeed. Kittenpaw checking out the stats of the unit he's facing, and some other units as well. Probably looking up the magic resistance stat here. Could see that the Magister has 70%, so that's a pretty magic resistant unit for the inevitable 2 character comets coming his way. There we see the spawn. He's looking for the spawn, found it. Magic resistance 97%. Yeah, that's not an option then. And both of the 2 spellcasters are right near the Chaos Spawn. Chains of Chaos on the Flagellant, alright. That is most likely an Order Magister. You might not want to cast too much. Again, running out of time here for Joj0z, without really doing much with his characters. He's taking way too long to think. Might be attributed a little bit to being unused to this warband, but I think it's also an attribute of being unused to having being forced to play with time. You don't do that when you face the computer. And when you're new and you've only faced the computer so far, it's a rough awakening to come into a PvP tournament. For most players. Still focusing down on Saxon the Silent here. Shooting twice, you could shoot 3 times with Adrenaline Rush. Let's see if he will do that. He does not. I know that he has Adrenaline Rush available to him though. It will be interesting to see what Kittenpaw does. Joj0z has elected here to not expose any of his units, so he has not jumped down, and that means that Kittenpaw, who will be moving all of his units pretty soon here, will probably move into cover with every single one of them. And it will take some time to gather up the units, so we'll see if he wants to push forward and go up to the top levels and meet Joj0z over there. Or if he'll wait for the entire team somewhere. Has to watch out for that Chaos Spawn though. Chaos Spawn plus Order Magister can kill pretty much anything. Saxon the Silent is half dead, but it's not that great of a first round here, especially when you had the drop on Kittenpaw and you got to move all of your units before his. Should probably have produced a casualty. And he could easily have produced a casualty had he used all of the means available to him. Shot 5 times with both of the Globadiers as well as 3 times with the Brethren on the same target. Would definitely have killed at least 1 unit. Now it's Kittenpaw's turn. Let's see what he does. Having lost half of that wounds count. That's a false Globadier cloud, by the way. Apparently there's been a bug in one of the latest updates of the game, and it's not been patched out. Whenever you throw a globe like that, there will be another poison cloud entering on the map at random, but it won't do anything. Losing out some dodge chance. No, minus 25% melee resistance. Ouch. Not that Flagellant had too much melee resistance to begin with. Meditation for a little bit more movement. It seems like he is indeed going up there. Trying to force his way up there as soon as possible. Yep, the time limit is hard. Well, it can be, but 90 seconds is a lot of time to move just a single character as well. Does he want to use exhaustion here? No, he doesn't. He've already lost enough wounds. Let's see if the ranged units here of Kittenpaw can actually shoot something, and I think they should be, because he didn't really move many of the units away from the edge. If he cannot be shot by the range here, at the very least, yeah, he can definitely shoot there. And targeting the first Globadier, who didn't move away. That's what you get for that. Also didn't finish with most of the red pills, still has 5 remaining. You can see that right here. We might see the Globadier go down here as Kittenpaw focuses the Globadier down. Already Kittenpaw has with a single unit done almost as much damage as Joj0z did under his entire first turn. Not a good sign. Adrenaline rush for a 4th attack. It's gonna hurt. Gonna take 90 damage start of next turn. That could be a good target to go down and just kill with the Chaos Bomb. Can probably reach that unit if you just jump down with the spawn. Don't know where you went with the spawn though. Healing circle probably going towards... well, finding the comet rain to be starting right now. There we go. That's a bit unlucky. 1 wound left remaining. Does have 9% chance to succeed at the magic resistance though. We'll see if he's lucky and can do that. He does not. First kill down. So Joj0z has lost a hero. And we could all have expected that. By the way he put that globby there. Might we see a healing circle here? Well, that's probably not worth it. 27% chance, but he's gambling here. 40 wounds for 27% chance to get a curse. I don't think that's really worth it. But to Kittenpaw it was at that time, and he didn't suffer for it this time at least. Remember that you can actually lose the unit entirely with a curse or a divine wrath, which would be applicable in this case. Gonna speed up the slower sisters here and get them out of firing range and make them keep up with all of the heroes in the front, which seems like a good choice. As well as on the marksman. There we go, +3 movement for 4 different characters. Time to move away. That makes meditation so much better as well. And if he does pick up a wordstone here, we'll get +2 more movement. Could probably do that with the other sister, which is closer to it. For Joj0z now, he really needs to get some of his team together. I don't know what the plan was, but we did see a Dark Soul on the other side of the wall, and I don't think he can easily make it back. The spawn seemed to be a bit lost. We're gonna see another shot here. Yep, this is gonna hurt. And I think we're gonna see 3 shots here. Kittenpaw knows a little bit more about PvP than Joj0z does. And he knows that putting in more damage is much better here than going for a knee shot. Well, a knee shot wouldn't actually affect anything, so I think it's more likely to go for the regular shot here and adrenaline rush for a 3rd shot. Just doing the damage. Taking 30 damage from adrenaline rush and doing around 50 damage to a hero, that's well worth it, especially since you're taking the damage from a henchman. This is why marksmen are probably one of the best units in the game as well, since they get the chain shots passive and can do so much damage at range. They're perfect assets. Might want to move back a little bit so you can shoot the Globadier here as well. Not into the poison cloud though. Looking for a shot. There we go. Looking for the nice spot that his comrade in arms had, and he just found it, I think. Indeed. And another 100 damage is most likely coming the way of this Globadier as well. And since we have the Matriarch being close by, we could see a comet and both of the Globadiers going down. And then what will Joj0z do? He will be out of most of his range, only having a single brethren left. And he needs to engage, and he needs to engage fast. And the way that Kittenpaw is going up by the stairs will mean that there are lots of choke points up there. And having all of this range and the comets raining down while he can only bring forth 1 or 2 melee units at a time, that's going to be really hurtful for Joj0z here. Exploring a little bit, see where it can go. Might find a chaos spawn up here. He's here somewhere at least. Going out and finding the Globadier and finishing him off. Well, that might do it as well. Provided the marksman actually can reload. I didn't check out on that. Maybe he has a reload. Doing healing, maybe? %, that's more tolerable. See if he suffers something from that. Nothing. One thing with the healing circle is that it doesn't actually heal the matriarch herself. So it's good to have the purifier nearby so that they can heal each other, and so they haven't taken any damage from the exhaustion that you're both using. Yes, one last shot against the Globadier and it succeeds. So 2 heroes down for Joj0z. It's not looking very good for him. Going up to 80% armor there. That's gonna really hurt for whoever goes into that unit if they want to kill it off. Maybe the Chaos Spawn can still do it, but I'm not actually sure about Joj0z's capabilities here. Joj0z are bringing a pretty decent warband, but from the first turn it seems like Joj0z is very inexperienced, and I'm not sure that he will actually use the Order Magister in combination with the Chaos Spawn. And if he doesn't do that, he won't do too much damage. %22 chance for Curse here. Will he be gambling on that?
A new round has started.
Oh, we even do see the Chaos Spawn here, so we know where he is. He can jump down there and just kill off either the smuggler if he wants to, or he can just go straight for one of the marksmen and kill that off, and then lock down the smuggler. Let's see where the Chaos Spawn... Okay, so the Chaos Spawn is delaying at the very least. And he seems to have the right idea here, moving with the Magister towards the Chaos Spawn. He should have done this the first turn. Let's see what he can do. He needs a kill here at least, so he can catch up. Alright. What are you thinking, Joj0z? Kittenpaw is looking around, although he doesn't really need to look around the minimap right now. It's usually just to figure out where the units are. We have an ambush stance on Dietrich color. I don't think that the spawn has actually been buffed with Weapon of Destruction here. It has not. As we can see, Kittenpaw is just checking that. And stunning himself. Alright. That's gonna hurt. Especially if Kittenpaw moves up there now and engages the Magister. It's gonna be in big trouble. Alright, so we do see the brethren here moving. Let's see if he leaves him by the edge here again, despite Kittenpaw warning him not to. See if he moves away. He does. That's good. So he's picking it up slowly. Realistically, I think that it would have been a really good opportunity to jump down with the Chaos Spawn and the Magister here. There are only ranged units down there. You can support them with your Dark Souls that are spread out here and there, and we see one who just deployed in within shooting range of all of Kittenpaw's shooting units. So we're gonna expect at least one more henchman to go down here, being exposed as well. Just going down there and tying them up would have done wonders, since most of the melee units are a bit away for Kittenpaw, and yes, he can boost the movement a bit for them, but he would still have to almost charge to get in there. Resisted the poison here. 58% is pretty good. Probably feels pretty confident right now and wants to engage as soon as possible. I don't think Kittenpaw actually cares if he loses this Flagellant. I think he feels that he has this game already. And he might well have. Yeah, not too many options left here. Gonna use exhaustion to take even more damage. Now being able to charge. Probably has adrenaline rush. I would just engage that. Yeah, attack. 92 damage, yeah, totally worth it, even if the Flagellant dies here. I don't know if that's gonna be the case. Gonna see a dead Dark Soul here, most likely. Yeah, that specific Dark Soul. Right there down the center. You can find a much better shooting angle from there if you go way to the wagon. On the other side of the wagon, you'll find a better shooting spot. Decent enough, doing a hit. That Dark Soul seems to be wearing cloth, so we'll take the full brunt of this damage. Bit lucky here hitting both of them. Let's see if the luck lasts, they will hit even more. No, moving away. Quite far away. 4 seconds left. 3. Not even having time to reload there. Well, when it comes to time, I mean, you have to make quick decisions, and one of the things is that when it is your opponent's turn, you always have to think about what you want to do with your units when they come up, in the right order as well. That's what separates good players from players who are not so good. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's some people say that it's more strategy if you have more time on you, but really strategy is part about formulating a plan, and tactics is about executing them, but both of them aren't really that dependent on time. You do the best with the time you have available to you, and you have to, since you make quicker decisions, strategy is actually more important. It's tactics that are suffering, the way of implementing them, in the case if some of them take a long time to do. That's the wrong way. If you want to go out, gonna go to the right side, or just up here. Gonna boost up some of the units here so that they can probably reach the Magister. Maybe help finishing him off. That's probably a good choice, going straight for the banner here. Gonna reduce the morale of Joj0z. Another one of the units that were boosted with armor absorption but not with movement. You see those armor absorption numbers are pretty scary, 80%. That's really hurtful. Probably wish that he had one of the Globadiers now. A Poison Cloud would have been pretty useful. It was clear he wouldn't reach that, so I don't know why he spent so much wounds, 30 wounds for that. I don't know if it's even cutting off something there. Let's see what this unit finds. Ah, you found something. Seems to be one of the Dark Souls. Should be fine to go into one of them. Just hold them up, use your numerical advantage and kill off the things that matter to him, while preventing the units that he can move about and do something with. It's a very basic strategy. I would definitely go into that Dark Soul. Lock him down. Yeah, he's in ambush mode, but you know, you have 80% armor. Don't try and be cheap here and cause a desync. Just go in. Sometimes when you try to sneak around corners like this to avoid certain things happening, all you're actually doing is that you might cause a desync. Ouch, that did hurt though. $85 damage and still 80% armor absorption. Yeah, that's really hurtful. But the Great Axes do have some armor penetration. It seems to have been very valuable here. Gonna see a dead Dark Soul momentarily. $51. He doesn't really need to do much more damage here. We're seeing the morale is about to drop quite a bit. I think I'm going for the aim here. 3 wounds remaining, bit lucky again. Gonna have to use Adrenaline Rush. No, you're gonna have to use Exhaustion and then reload and then do Adrenaline Rush if you want to kill this character off with Boston Wolves. Might not do that, no. Keep himself safe, go out with the other marksman instead. Still have a pretty decent amount of morale here. I think that we're gonna have to see something around 5 more units going down for Joj0z before he actually routes, and since he only has 7 units left remaining, it's gonna be all but 2. Kittenpaw's first miss so far in the match. See if he's gonna luck out here with a 61% chance. He was pretty good with the 59%, but no, this is not his day. Yeah, if he reloads, he can get another shot off from the Matriarch, or the Matriarch can just go out and throw a comet and kill that guy. Yeah, as long as she gets towards her 2 other henchmen here, she will be pretty close to killing off the Dark Soul. She can already see him now. He's just on the opposing bridge of where you stepped out. Yeah, you can definitely reach him. Remember that this particular Magister has a lot of magic resistance, so it might not be the best target for a comment. And Kittenpaw realized that and goes down, and he's gonna be able to shoot now on Dietrich Keller, or whatever his name was, but elects not to. Probably didn't see that he had an option there. Or I think Kittenpaw would actually have finished that Dark Soul off. Let's see a bit more healing. You can see that the strategy for Kittenpaw here is clearly lots of armor and lots of healing. And then doing a little bit of damage with some other units. So very resilient. Making sure that the Flagellant might survive this. I think I should really aim for deny the heretic right on that Magister. Would have been very useful considering there are lots of units around that. And units that might want to move in as well. Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing. Seems to have a bit of increased range here. And even though he resisted that, it doesn't really matter, since Knight Heretic pretty much ignores medic resistance checks. So he's gonna have minus 15% hit chance and minus 1 red pill for the next turn. Losing out on time once more.
A new round has started.
Alright. What can the Chaos Spawn do? Without Weapon of Destruction, mind you. Against a Flagellant that just had Arm of Righteousness on him. And no stance. No, not particularly blocked here. Not doing that much damage. Alright, that's much better. At least one such attack more. Should have one red pill left. Can use Adrenaline Rush if he has it. Which I know he does. There we go. Oh, that's unlucky. One more attack. Let's see if he can finish off this Flagellant. Yes, he does. Good job. Might move in and protect the Magister here then. Uh-oh. Yeah. That's not good at all. That's a desync. Well, the time might run out. That could maybe change something. Alright, it seems to have stopped. That's good. That's exactly what happens when you move around corners and try to avoid ambushes and things. Yeah, who knows? So, one henchman down for Kittenpaw and 2 heroes down for Joj0z. That's the score right now. But one henchman is about to die for Joj0z anyway. Let's see here. Can you Weapon of Destruction him? Okay, you Weapon of Destruction your Dark Soul here instead. Should use it on the Chaos Spawn. And use an order as well, if you can. So missed the Weapon of Destruction. That's why you always start with the Chaos Spawn. 20% curse chance. Ouch. You might still want to... Alright, don't want to cast a third spell. Could be okay to do a risk there. I mean, you... I guess you can always just delay with the Chaos Spawn and then use Weapon of Destruction and use the attacks for the next turn. He should have some targets to shoot at, but just don't, let's just hope he doesn't leave him in the open here. Among other things, could shoot at Matriarch here. That cannot be a good shot position. Looks like a really poor shooting position. I mean, that unit is engaged, is at an angle, and you're not looking at too good of results. There we go. Warrior Priest is probably going to heal her now. He didn't feel it was worth it earlier, since she had only taken a little bit of damage, but now she has taken about 80 damage probably, and that makes it a perfect target for Healing Hand. Yeah, you would really have to move further away than that if you want that Dark Soul to survive. There's a combat can just end you from a lot of the different angles here. Imagine if he still had the Globadiers, he could have done quite a bit of damage with them at this point. Alright. Well, they're both taking quite a bit of damage here, and I think that the Arm of Righteousness is about to be gone here for the sister. See if she gets a refill when it's her turn, or when it's the Warrior Priest's turn. I don't know why are you doing an adrenaline rush here. What are you aiming for at? Why? You're just taking 30 more damage for absolutely nothing. Oh, this is at least nice. Not doing too much damage here. Still, all of those quick decisions adds up, and they do help each other to produce even more damage. And as soon as the Arm of Righteousness is gone, it's gonna be a lot easier. Plus, you have to also consider that she was wearing a helmet and she might not have the best all-alone stat. Comes a pure damage dealer for Kittenpaw. As Kittenpaw's turn begin. Yeah, really want to fire at the Chaos Spawn, no doubt, since it's one of the few units in Kittenpaw's Warband that can actually damage this magic immune Chaos Spawn. Looking for Dietrich Köhler. Goodbye to you. So 1 henchman lost on either side, plus 2 heroes for Joj0z. She should probably be pretty careful here, because if she can't put anything in between the Chaos Spawn and that smuggler, it's gonna be really hurtful. That Chaos Spawn could, with Weapon of Destruction, probably crush and kill that sister we see there holding him up. And if that's the case, there is nothing holding back the Chaos Spawn from going into either the smuggler here or the matriarch. Well, that's at least better. Using a talisman. Remember that in this tournament there are no purple items, well, purple consumables, only blue and white consumables. Go for the healing circle again. Well, that is an interesting shot to make. You know, when it comes to casting offensive magics, you get all of these weird angles where you can actually see someone will see a little bit piece of their cloth, and you can bring in full damage. It's the main advantage with all of this magic. Succeed at the healing circle. Restoring wounds suffered from using exhaustion. And failing on the second combat. Alright. See if you take any damage from the 27% or 17% Divine Wrath chance here. Did not do that. Stealing the warband icon and banner here, hopefully. Huh. Yeah, can probably leave a consumable here then. Gonna get +3 movement from this as well. Gonna enable her to move somewhere where she can use her pills, blue pills for the 4 Sigma active skill, which Kittenpaw seems to like to use. Well, this is a good position to get the get the brethren here. Oh, that's a bit lucky to have. Critical. Staggering blow, I don't know if that's gonna do too much. Don't remember what kind of initiative this brethren had, but I think he had quite a bit, no? Yeah. So he's down to 61 now. But 61 is still higher than most of Kittenpaw's units. Using a Crimson Shade to go up a little bit, +15, still 60, so he's not hitting before the brethren anyway. Staggering Blow works best when you have an opponent who has a higher initiative than you, but these units have 69 in initiative, both of them, so Staggering Blow won't even be useful here. Yep, 61 initiative. Just checking it out. Probably cursing that a little bit. Just checking around the minimap, it's not really good for Kittenpaw to attack into the two Dark Souls. Just enter a Web of Steel and let them attack into her instead. Will help you much more. I think that's exactly what Kittenpaw is doing here. Just using the time to look around and not waste the time of any other character that he might be a little bit more pressed on to do something with. Still is Lockdown the only ranged element of Joj0z, and that's going to be very nice for him. You can actually use an attractive lure here to finish off that sister if he wants. See if he does that. Yeah, Web of Steel is not gonna help against the Chaos Spawn, so better to go into 20% dodge stance in that case and hope you're lucky. Even if you have 0% dodge, you still have 1% chance to succeed. It's not great, but it's what you have. These two marksmen are a bit out of position. Let's see what they can do. One of the bad things about being in the courtyard is that you can actually not climb up anywhere. You have to get inside. Oh, what's that? He had a chance to shoot. Shoot at what? Kittenpaw wonders. What do you have a chance to shoot at? Oh, very nice target. Seems to be lucky with the high 50% chance hits here. Not so much with the 60%, but that's another story. Taking out the Magister would be a good blow towards Joj0z defeat, since it is the last unit available to take a route test. As well as the only unit that really pumps up the Chaos Spawn. Not that Joj0z has actually used anything to help the Chaos Spawn with in regards to the Magister so far, but he might, and that's a danger in itself. Might want to go there with the second marksman as well. Taking a different route. Might want to go up the stairs then. A few more volleys aiming at the Magister. That's a much better shooting position, but you're running out of time, so hurry up. Might actually, if he does, let's see here. And a miss. It's good for the man that he is very much resistant towards comets of Sigmar here, because we're gonna see a few of them. Has to be careful around the Chaos Spawn. The Chaos Spawn might actually break free here in just one round and go and kill something else. Seems to be a little bit undecisive about what he wants to do here. Yeah, might be aiming for one of the two Joj0z instead. Could be a good choice. %2 curse chance. And a little bit more resistance. See if that helps the unit survive. %32 chance. Do you want to take the risk? Doesn't seem like it. I think we're gonna see an armor here at the very least. Maybe on the sister at the far back. Indeed we are. Yeah, with increased range you can actually do a bit of damage here to both off the two Joj0z chances to kill off that sister. They will have to use Adrenaline Rush to get a second attack off, but I still think that they really should use Attracting Lure if they have the opportunity to do so. I don't know what kind of angle it is, or if there is that opportunity for Joj0z. Ah, just another talisman. Won't make any difference whatsoever. Joj0z's turn. Let's see what he does. He really should delay with the Chaos Spawn at the start and use Weapon of Destruction on him. And he is not going for that and instead missing with the Blood Offering. Very poor start here for Joj0z once more. And I think that this is probably going to be Joj0z's last turn. Let's see, he's probably going to lose the Magister and the Brethren and maybe one of the Dark Souls as well. And that should be it for the game. really don't understand why you can't wait for a weapon of destruction. Like, if you delay, you're not losing anything here. Not a single thing. Since it's all your characters in the way anyway. Pretty poor trade here. But to see what this man is just doing. He is moving away from danger, at least. Specifically from the smuggler. We'll play talking a little bit about the spawn here, but I think the key spawn is in dire straits. He had a bit over 300 wounds left, and then he used Adrenaline Rush. He's gonna have around 240, 250 something. And just... okay, here we see order coming in. If the smuggler is a bit lucky, the smuggler will... that's unlucky. The smuggler is lucky, he's gonna do at least 210 damage, and that's almost a dead chaos spawn. It's not that good to use order on the Dark Souls. Remember that he already attacked twice, so what we're actually seeing here is the fifth attack even. He's not gonna do almost any damage. But I guess he is at least taken off the 2 stances that he had with parry. He really should be able to use Attracting Lure and just kill that unit off. But he might be very unfamiliar with what it does, and as he sees it in his options, he's not thinking of using it. What can this Dark Soul tank do? What will he attack? Finding Elizabeth, who is locked down against the Brethren. That's also an awkward position for Volker Berwald to be in, since he can be shot at by both the Matriarch and the Smuggler from that distance. He's actually perfectly lined up to be shot at. I should have attacked there. Carl Grabner is the most damaged Dark Soul here, and just few 1 or 2 uses of Combat of Sigmar can probably kill that unit off. Good idea. Might even go all out and use as much damage as he can here on the Dark Soul with the Sister Samantha Geldhammer. Seeing as you probably won't last a turn otherwise. 50 something wounds remaining. If he hits here, it's gonna do between 30 and 40 again. Probably 30 something. With Adrenaline Rush. It's a bit odd that Joj0z is not using any of his consumables. He has quite a few consumables on him. but he's not using them. Yep, that's an almost dead sister. We'll see. I don't think he will actually be able to get the kill unless he fails all alone here. So no hit there. Probably won't do too much damage anyway. Sidestep. Hopefully that's gonna be really good actually. It's gonna protect him for at least 2 attacks if he's lucky. See what kind of chance. Yeah, he is in clot though, and doesn't seem to have too great of a chance of hitting him. Yeah, maybe with insult and madcaps. That's one of the differences here between Joj0z and Kittenpaw. Kittenpaw is using his consumables, while most of the time these consumables have not actually done anything. This is the first time they will do something. Much better chance to hit. 66% chance to dodge, that's pretty good. And a miss! So he still has 1 dodge attempt left. Might actually survive this for a while longer. He will indeed. 1 more attack. Taking a bit more damage here to get into Web of Steel now. No. Doesn't actually have Web of Steel. Alright. Let's see here if that Dark Soul is dead meat now. Or if it's gonna target the spawn or the Dark Soul. I think those are the 2 choices. Key Spawn is probably a pretty good target here. The Kittenpaw might actually die if he starts hitting it, but he can get some really nice shots in on the Dark Soul too. Has even less wounds. Yeah, this Kittenpaw might die here. Very good chance to hit. It's gonna be something he wants to take. Remember that this Kittenpaw also has 60 damage incoming from Adrenaline Rush, and he can't heal. Probably just need to hit these 2 and the Kittenpaw will be gone. Yeah, well, probably has 10 wounds left, but you can do that with that kind of damage with your sister who is engaged with him. And a miss. Only needs to do 30 damage then to kill off the Chaos Spawn. And the Magister is also pretty hurt here. This unit can definitely go and kill the Dark Soul here. Pretty good strategy, giving Since the superior, probably full red pills here to do even more damage and finally kill off that brethren. Succeeding at the all alone yet again. Focus the damage on the weak Dark Soul here, and I think you might actually get him with the Matriarch later on. 95 minus 60, that's 35. See, he can easily she can disengage, which means that attracting lure could have been used on this character. Well, it's a buggy skill, but it probably should have been able to be used. Might want to put yourself in a place where you can't be attacked by 2 units at once. Or completely just run away, but you... Alright, yeah, if Joj0z doesn't know how to use the minimap, this unit might still be dead. Might still live, but if he does not use the minimap, he will know where that character is and will kill him off. And I think it's pretty safe to say that Joj0z might not actually know that, so... Probably gonna live with that unit. Still, he does tempt the 2 Dark Souls to go down there and attack the 2 marksmen. Another kill. Starting to be a bit of a slow game here. It's a very much of a grind. I think we can attribute that more to Kittenpaw's warband. It seems to be very much reliant on doing providing lots of armor and lots of healing, and then just slowly grinding the enemy down with 1 or 2 really well, the 2 marksmen and the smuggler doing the actual damage from afar. It's not a bad tactic. It's a classic tactic that mercenaries do all the time. It's like the main mercenary tactic, in fact. I don't agree with that. I think he should have attacked into that chaos spawn. Yes, he has sidestep, but just remove a few of them and then move in with something else and kill it, instead of giving it another turn. Might be able to move up here and kill off the Dark Soul that's injured. Oh, that's a really good chance. That's a really good spot. Just needs 1 hit. There we go. The Chaos Spawn is gone as soon as it is the turn. Let's see, he will lose 28 from that, so he's down to 98, which means he only needs to lose 1 more unit. And then the game might be over. Especially if the Magister goes down. Then it's definitely over. I don't know if you want to attempt doing that. He knows that the Chaos Spawn is dead. Just probably going into an Overwatch here to prevent a little bit of movement from one of the Dark Souls in case they move down. Indeed. see what other marksman will be doing here. He will be searching for the Magister. He can kill him off if he finds him, and then the game would automatically end. I wouldn't do a headshot, just shoot the other guy. He's almost dead. Not a good choice. Could probably, I don't know if he's having too much attention here, but the other Joj0z is almost dead. Could probably be focusing them instead. Instead of targeting this guy. Headshot coming in. Succeeded on the stun here. Actually, that could be hurtful. That unit could die from those two Joj0z. Target the other Joj0z here. There we go. That's the one you want to kill. Just 2 more attacks and you have him. %, that's a risk worth taking. And 1 last attack. Finish him off. Doesn't really matter if you lose the matriarch. Don't think you will with 70%. There we go. So we're gonna see a route test by the Magister as soon as it is Joj0z's turn. See if he makes that. The Magisters do have quite a bit of leadership available to them, as most heroes, as most leaders actually do, especially the main heroes, the ones that you have to start with. I don't know if I would actually gamble with 37% chance. Let's give it a rest. Now the heretic ran out. Do you want to add it once again? I don't think you actually need it around the chaos spawn, so don't do that. Just a bit of healing instead. Yeah. We can clearly see here that this War Priest has increased range. We've seen that the entire game already though, but mainly has the increased range for healing, I suppose. Might go down there and heal up the sister. Or just heal up this guy. Or go for another deny the heretic. Well, that would be kind of a waste since they are already starting in deny the heretic. Maybe he's wanting to engage this Dark Soul. Or finding the... yeah. He probably wants to get at the Magister, but the Magister's in there, so can't really reach him. Yeah, I don't know why you do that. If I was that Dark Soul, I would just attack the marksman anyway.
A new round has started.
Going down, and we see the route test here. Let's see what happens. Success, 72% chance to succeed though. Yeah, he really needs to finish off the Magister if he wants to get this game in the bag. think it will be an interesting thing to see in this group. We do know that Slaver hasn't played his game against Joj0z yet, but if he does, he will face Kittenpaw. Again, they faced each other last tournament. It ended 10-0 for Slavier, and as you know from the pre-talk, we also know that they did a practice game before this tournament, and Slavier soundly defeated Kittenpaw again. So Kittenpaw is out for revenge, and Slavier is out for third time in a row. So we'll see what happens. Who decides, who wins out in Group F? I'm not gonna say that Joj0z might not win against Slaver, but he's an extreme underdog, and I think it's a very good chance that Slaver will go through to the winner's game here, which will be against Kittenpaw, as we just saw. Yeah, maybe it is. Well, it's not. Even if it's if he had desynced or something. I mean, the seconds are counting down here, and so if he's stuck in the counterattack position, it wouldn't matter. Seconds are running out. That will force something to happen. If Slaver, if Kittenpaw did counter too fast, it would be kind of ironic, since he did advise Joj0z to not do that before the game, and then he did that himself. So yeah, I think we're seeing a desync, and I think the game is over already. I mean, it was a foregone conclusion as well. And congratulations to Kittenpaw on the victory, and hope Joj0z can recover and be doing well in the losers match here, which is going to be whoever loses between Joj0z and Slaver. Another game that we are probably going to cast and upload, so we'll be looking forward to seeing that. So for now, I think these two players are about to quit here, aren't they? Yeah, I don't think we need to stay here anymore. I think I'm gonna end the recording. They're gonna quit the game, and so it will be a victory 6-1 to Slavier. Congrats about that, and we're looking forward to seeing the next game. I hope it's more exciting and it's a bit more fast-paced and less laggy.